Welcome back to another complex topic with the Complex Brothers are Too Complex. We appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. We think you're going to enjoy it. But before you get into the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss none of the bangers of future content we drop. We love y'all. Enjoy the video.
Jay-Z letting the Grammys know that his wife has never won the prestigious Album of the Year award while owning the most Grammys ever while he was receiving a Grammy Award himself. Mm-hmm. How we feel about that, Sticks?
Bro, it's crazy because I think she was kind of embarrassed, just the way you see her sitting in the crowd, like, oh shit, this nigga is, because he said when I get nervous, I tell the truth. So yeah. And he said he was nervous, but he said he didn't want to embarrass her, but he did. But I
think she gets embarrassed easily, though.
I think she does. When she's not on stage, she gets embarrassed easy. Yeah. But she has 32 Grammys, bro. 32 Grammys. So I looked up what, some of the albums that she was nominated for. It was Sasha Fierce, the self-titled Beyonce album, the Lemonade album, and the Renaissance album. She lost to Beck for Morning Phase. Lemonade lost to Adele, which I listened to Adele. Adele's 25 album was fire. I'm not gonna lie, it was dope. Mm-hmm. Renaissance lost to Harry Styles for Harry's House. And she also lost, Sasha Fierce lost to Taylor Swift's Fearless. So, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not even a Beehiver, but I heard Fearless was fire too.
You are by guilt by association.
I'm guilty by association because my lady is a Beehiver. So I guess I'm a Beehiver too. But I don't necessarily listen to a lot of the music that she lost. Well, I don't listen to any of the music that she lost these Album of the Years to, except for Adele. So, did she deserve to win some of these? Probably. But just like D-Lo said in the previous segment, they base off the art of the music, the time and the art and what you put into these albums is what they actually. It's not about a popularity contest. Is Beyonce popular than all of these people she lost? More popular than all people that she lost to? Yes, 100%. But if we went by popularity, Utopia would have won Album of the Year, just like we were talking about. But it's not a popularity contest when it comes to the Grammys. It's about the art of the music. So if the Grammys felt like that Fearless or Morning Phase or 25 or Harry's House was more artful than Sasha Fierce, Beyonce, Lemonade, or Renaissance, then it deserved to win over Beyonce. But I do big up Jay-Z for standing up for his wife. The same thing we said last week about Ye and his wife. If I feel like my wife is being wronged, and like you said, by definition, it don't work, because if she's got the most Grammys, then she should have a best album. But just because she won Song of the Year or Artist of the Year or something of that nature doesn't mean she deserves to win Album of the Year either. But big up to Jay-Z for standing up for his wife, embarrassing her a little bit, but it's standing up for his wife and saying that it don't work, and he calling out the Grammys, because there's been artists in the past that's called the Grammys out, Eminem being one of the notable ones too, which is the reason why he don't go. So it's like, I think I ain't going to say that because I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't think it's true. But there's been artists in the past that have called him out, and for numerous reasons. So maybe they need to change their voting process. What you think? How you feel about Jay-Z standing up for his wife?
So first off, it must be super freeing, or you must be really free to stand on stage while you're receiving an award from the very association that you're calling out. Has to be a freeing feeling, right?
Gotta be.
Or it just, that's how much power you have. Or
I was about to say that. It's got to be.
Or how much power. I don't give a F. I don't care. Mm-hmm. One of the three. It's freeing or all of the above. It's either or, right? But I think Jay-Z definitely has a point with his statements. So in his speech, he says she has more Grammys than anyone and never won Album of the Year by your own metric. That doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And he's right to some degree. If you think about professional sports, if a player was to NBA player, let's go NBA because that's what everybody knows. If a player was to be scoring champion, defensive player of the year, led the league in assists, wouldn't he be the MVP
MVP?
of the league. And so in the Grammy and with the Grammys, the album of the year is a prestigious award. It's like the MVP, right? And so I did a little bit of research just like you did. At first, I couldn't find how many actual Grammys she's won in totality. I saw different numbers, but the number is 32. She has 32 total Grammys. Her first official solo album, she won 5 Grammys that year, including contemporary album of the year, not album of the year, but contemporary. So she was in the
Which
pocket.
album was that?
The first one, which was Dangerously in Love.
Dangerously, okay, gotcha.
Dangerously in Love. She won 5 Grammys.
Gotcha.
Okay, so and if what the CEO, which his name is, what is his name? The CEO, his name is, dang, where's that?
Of the Grammys?
Harvey. Yeah, it's Harvey something. Harvey Mason Jr.
Okay.
Is his name.
Got you.
I believe. Make sure. Yeah, Harvey Mason Jr. So if we're talking about exactly what Harvey Mason Jr. said in regard to how they vote on album of the year, or just how people win Grammys in as a whole, they vote on the art of the award, right? For that award. So if she can win 5 Grammys in her first album, and if they're voting off of just the sheer art of the project, how can she not get album of the year if she can win 5 Grammys off of one album, and even win a subset of album of the year with contemporary album of the year? So as Jay-Z said, by their own metric, that doesn't make sense.
True. That's true.
But on the flip side of it, I could see how if she was, every album she put out, she was always winning 5 awards and getting album of the year, how that would be so boring and so like upsetting to other fan bases and other artists out there. If every time Beyonce puts an album, we know she's going to get album of the year, right? That would get so mundane, just like in the NBA.
I was about to say, just like in
NBA.
NFL, just like NFL, when the Patriots was winning all those championships, everybody was like, "Damn, can somebody else win?" Right?
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. Like realistically, if we're being truly honest, Giannis probably should have won the MVP the last 4 years. If we're being honest, it's a stretch where LeBron probably could have won MVP 8 years straight.
If we're being honest,
but because the individuals that vote on that award get so tired of voting for the same person, they search for different ways.
It's called
to find somebody else.
Yep, it's called
exactly. They search for different ways to put somebody as MVP. Same with album of the year. You hardly see somebody repeat as album of the year. I don't know that as fact. I'm just gonna say that I think you hardly see somebody repeat as having multiple album of the years back to back. It may be a stretch of time where they have had album of the year, and then 4 or 5 years later, or 8 years later, they come up with another album of the year, because typically artists aren't like what they used to. They used to put out an album every year. Now they stretch it out. They put an album every 3 to 4 years. So I can understand both sides of it. I definitely think Jay-Z has a point when he says, by their own metrics, it doesn't make sense for her not to have an album of the year. If you can say the art of every other thing, a single song or a couple of songs of, her album generally is good art, but she can't get the most prestigious sought after award as a recording artist, as album of the year, that doesn't make sense. But I'm sure that people would get tired if Beyonce won album of the year and multiple awards, including that, every time she put an album out.
See, the crazy thing is that Jay-Z, he ain't do it as flagrantly as Kanye did, but he stole the book out of Kanye. He went up on stage with Taylor Swift and was like, this woman had, he stood up for Beyonce too. It was like, there's no way you won this because she did this. Like, what do you mean? But I just looked it up. Taylor Swift has won album of the year 4 times. Not back. There's nobody who's done it back to back. Yeah. Nobody has done it back to back. But she won it in 2010, 2016, 2021, and now recently 2024. Okay. She's won it 4 times. So
how many albums does she have out? Does she have 4 albums out?
Don't know, but I can check. How many
I mean, that's also another thing too. I feel like Beyonce probably did
14.
not
She's got
want
14 albums. She's
14 albums out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, but I know she took some albums back and then she redid them so that they're in like they're mastered. She gets the masters, right?
Right.
But to me, that also says that maybe Beyonce didn't want Jay-Z to mention that in that fashion, but secretly she wants that recognition of having album of the year. You know, with all the fame, all the notoriety that she has, you would think somebody in her position really wouldn't care about that. But, you know, we can't really listen to what people say publicly most times because as an artist, you want to be recognized by your peers as having whatever the most prestigious award is, especially if you're as decorated as somebody like a Beyonce.
Yes.
So I think secretly, or maybe even publicly, I don't know. I know, again, I'm guilty by association as a Beehiver, but I don't know if Beyonce has ever mentioned publicly that she really wants to have the album of the year. I mean, obviously about how hard she works, she's showing that she wants it, but has she ever mentioned it publicly? Probably not. So in private with Jay-Z and some of her family members, she probably feels like this is the year I get album of the year. And she's been let down so many times. So Jay-Z, you know, preemptively is like, y'all not doing right by my wife.
Exactly. So I think my last question to the topic would be: is Taylor Swift the Tom Brady of the Grammys? Is she the GOAT?
Well,
is Taylor the GOAT? Is Taylor the GOAT?
Well, if we're talking about album of the years, especially if that's seen as the highest of the high awards for the Grammys, how many Grammys does she have total? Because if Beyonce has 32
I want to
Grammys,
say she's got 14, but let me make sure.
Okay.
I want to say she's got
Beyonce
14.
has 32 Grammys, and that's the most. That's more than Michael Jackson. That's more than, all the great acts.
She's got 14
musically. Okay.
Before those 14 are album of the year, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
that holds a lot of weight, but I don't know. I mean, the go to the Grammys.
I would go so far as to say when it comes to these two people we talk about,
they close.
No, I don't think so. I think Beyonce is Tom, Taylor is Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor Swift's been in the game for a bit though.
I think they've been in the game around the same amount of time. I'm not gonna lie.
No. I don't think so.
Beyonce's been out longer for sure. Yeah.
Beyonce's been out for 20 plus years. 2003 was when she released "Dangerously in Love." I think
she was
Taylor
out
Swift
before that with
with Destiny's Child, right?
Child too. Yeah. So yeah, facts. So Taylor is younger in the game. She's more of the Patrick Mahomes of the game to me. I think Beyonce, when it comes to women's artists, she's the Tom Brady of the game. To me,
she definitely can catch Beyonce, especially if Beyonce takes some time off again. Which I don't know. I mean, do you think? I was going to ask. Do you think?
I mean, she's 18.
Album?
She's 18 ahead of Taylor right now as far as total Grammys. I don't know if Taylor's catching her, but she got four. She got 4 things that Jay-Z says that Beyonce deserves.